Don't disrespect me and say I do everything everybody else does. And I put up my own money. All these so-called moguls y'all talking about, you name one of them that put their own dough up. A boss, you're only the boss if you put up your own money. If you don't put up your own money, I don't care how much somebody gives you, you're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours.
It all started online, it all started from the streets, from the grind, from the bottom up.
From an employee to an employer.
Great vision, from the t-shirts, to taking it online, to the malls, to the kiosks, then to the stores.
Like everybody says, yo, I work too many hours, I got kids, I got all this stuff. Like, yo, every excuse, man, execution over excuses, we don't do those.
I'm J Tech, that guy, that's Dave, that's Mr. Sleepers for Suckers. He like quit his job and turned his dreams into his realities.
You're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You got faith or not. Faith means you just move without knowing how everything's gonna pan out.
Did somebody tell you you're fired, yes or no? Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that.
My dad taught me a long time ago that you get what you pay for. Here's how I knew I wanted to own my own business. I used to work at a call center in college. It was the craziest thing. They said, yo, it's time to go to lunch. It was like 12:30 or something like that. See, the way my body is set up, I don't get hungry at 12:30. I get hungry around like 1:30, 2 o'clock. It's just how I'm wired. And I'm like, yo, how do you know that I'm hungry or ready to go to lunch at this time? But I ain't had no control over it. You know why? Because I ain't have to do nothing to get the money. I had to do nothing to get the job. I just applied. It was free. You get what you pay for. I remember, like, to get off the calls, you have to like raise your hand and they come get you, and then you tell the supervisor like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I can go. I thought I was done with that at grade school, but apparently not. and I realized that whoever put that money up to start that call center didn't have to raise their hand to do nothing. It was 2010 when I started, and I didn't ask anybody for any investment capital. I just found out how much it was to print some t-shirts. I saved my money and printed the t-shirts. I put my own dough up. Shout out to my boy Jerome though. He was really putting up money to buy a bunch of shirts. He was just buying a bunch of shirts, and he doesn't know how much that really helped me. But he was only buying shirts because I was the first person to invest in myself. And when people see you invest in yourself, then they're willing to invest in you. Honestly, I could care less if people support the brand. I don't get mad when people don't support. Like, this is my dream.
Sleepers for Suckers, like he said, ask Sleepers for Suckers on Twitter.
1, 2, 3. Sleepers for Suckers.
I should make a quality product that makes people want to buy it because they want it, not just to support me. And I was willing to bet on myself, and people just ain't willing to bet on themselves. So in 2012, I took every dollar that I had, like every dollar that I had, and I opened the kiosk in Cumberland Mall. I didn't wait for a business loan. I didn't start a GoFundMe. I didn't start panhandling. I just made money and saved the money. I saved some of my tips. I put my own money up. I didn't want to partner with anybody saying, listen, you put up half the money, you can own half the kiosk. I was like, nah, I'm gonna put up my own money. And I remember that first day, that very first day.
What's up? This is David. Hey, what's up? I'm about to, can I come bring some shirts up there to get the tags sewn in? About to go pick up the shirts that are getting pressed right now. You'll see those in a minute. Then take them up to get the tags sewn in. The lady just called me yelling at me because I'm late.
I had $0 in my bank account. Like, I had to sell a shirt today or I was not going to eat that day. I took every single dollar that I had and I invested it in myself. I remember one time I offered somebody 10% of my company for $5,000 because I thought $5,000 would solve all my problems. And they said they were gonna give it to me, right? But they never did. I made my own money, put my own bread up. I got what I needed to get that I was gonna get with the dude's $5,000, and I still own 100% of my own company.
Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there? Dash, or whatever your last name is instead of somebody else's? My pride is in my children. Like, look what I'm doing right now. Look at my son. I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you hustlers for, you're selfish.
I just understand this philosophy, and I'm always willing to give away the $5 so I can potentially get 10. Now, the 10 doesn't always come back, and sometimes you lose the 5. And then you gotta find another way to get the 5 so you can put it into that investment again to hopefully get the 10 this time. People just not willing to put up the 5 or the 10 or the 100 or the 30,000 like me to open a store that they took from me 6 months later. I opened a store, invested about $30,000 in the product and stocking and building it out and all that kind of stuff. 6 months later, they told me I gotta leave. They tried to relocate me. 30,000 gone. But part of the game. I'm gonna make more than most people because I'm willing to invest more. Every single dollar that I had, and I invested it in myself in that kiosk 3.5 years ago. It's turned into hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You lay one good brick a day, one day you'll have a house. You know? So just so happens that I lay 5 to 10 bricks a day, so you know my house should be built in no time.
When you can own something, there's a certain pride in actually owning something. Stop waiting for people to support you. Make a good product that people need, and people start to thank you for your product. But put your own money up. The only way you win is when you are willing to lose. Ooh, that's a quotable. People really need to like break the mindset of having a safety net, because what they don't realize is that that safety net eventually turns into a spider web. Safety net catches you, right? To where if you ever fall, where you got the money, you're not gonna go broke and all that kind of stuff, but eventually that net turns into a spider web where you can't move. They begin to give you more raises. They give you more responsibility and then more money, hoping that you're gonna buy a bigger house and a bigger car. And then that web got you. Now, I'm not saying that having a job is demeaning or you're less of a person for having a job. Tempus neminem menem. It means time waits for no one. It's only a matter of time before you pop or you blow, or it's only a matter of time before life's over. I'm not saying that anything's wrong with having a job. It just wasn't for me.
See, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day, but there's no pride in that to me. My son takes pride. My kids take pride in the fact that I have Dash Motors. And because I have that, my son said, I'm not gonna ever have a boss. His mentality is different. It's just about changing mentality.